let's go to my publish now. Now we're gonna read some good stuff. We're gonna read some content. We're gonna read A Twist in Fairy Tales. This was my first thing, and I read this with my friends, as you can see. My friend Georgia, my other friend, and my sister, who we're gonna read this. Not all of it, but keep in mind, I turned this in for a middle school writing project. 8th grade, I turned this in.
But how shall I attend? My mother hates me, though I have no clue why. She would never allow me to go to the ball, in fear that the prince shall have the ability to behold my glory. So, I must come up with a plan. I grab a brick and hit her upside the head. Now I can drag her limp body into the hall closet. After finishing that task, I lock the door. Problem solved. But I need assistance with preparing myself for this great event. I should have just threatened her. How will I explain this to the investigators? I know. I will just move to Canada. Then I remember. About a month ago, I discovered that we have rats in our basement. Maybe they can help. I trot downstairs to find the little balls of fur slowly devouring our peanut butter stash. I try to think of ways to communicate with them, when all of a sudden I hear this deep, masculine voice.
Is there a reason you have disrupted our snack, my dear maiden?
I jump and glance to the cellar door, wondering who in the world that was.
Down here, milady.
The voice murmurs creepily. I glance to my feet to see one of the rodents tugging on the hem of my skirts. I quickly shift my focus to the other parts of the room in an attempt to locate the other feeble beasts. I notice them all in the corner, just kind of sitting there helplessly. I return my gaze to their leader. There you are! Oh dear, you sure gave me a fright.
I apologize, milady, but I must ask again, what brings you to my kingdom?
After they finish assembling the dress, it is a work of art. I pick up the delicate piece and give the rats great thanks. They seem to have enjoyed helping me because they jump onto my face, clawing and biting out of pure joy. After that event, I climb the stairs and enter my bedroom. In my bedroom are a broken vanity and a bed. I don't have many possessions because I seem to be worth nothing to my family. I stride over to the vanity and pull a rusted metal stool from underneath. I plop onto it and open one of my drawers to reveal my hairbrush. I have grown to like the golden dreads that have formed from my lack of sanitation. They are a part of me, so I must show who I truly am to the prince. My hair? Check. I must arrive at the ball in style, so I steal a car. Yes, we have cars in the year 1. Did you expect us to be stupid? Of course you didn't, because of my obvious intelligence. So obvious, in fact, that I'm pretty sure it radiates off my face. I fishtail into... This is so stupid. This is so stupid. Okay. I fishtail onto I-87, hitting many cars in the process. They don't matter, though. They're just scraps of mundane flesh wasting space. I don't even know why they exist, since I seem to absorb all the glory. It then occurs to me that they should be bowing at my presence. I shall rub their filthy faces into the blacktop if they don't. I turned this in for an English assignment in 8th grade, and my teacher almost gave me an F. She almost gave me an F because she thought it was scary. And I told her, no, it's a joke. And she was like, oh, okay. And then I got an A. On the day that the sacred squirrel Cleopatra died, my mother told me to go visit my ill grandmother in the Slender Woods. I'll most likely die on the way there, but whatever.
Go take your grandmother something to help her get better. What would that be, mother? Daughter, haven't you heard the latest studies? Drugs are the solution to everything.
She shoves a basket of something into my chest.
What's this?
Then it hits me.
Is it rock candy?
Mother stares at the basket for a moment, then speaks.
Well, I don't remember, little girl.
Wait, why are you in my house?
Mum, I'm your daughter.
My what? Your daughter? No, she says, then pushes me out the door.
By the way, that basket goes to the old lady in the Slender Woods. My grandmother? No, that lady would not give birth to an ugly little boy like you. I'm a girl and you're my mother. She's my grandmother. Really? You're a girl? Ew, now go, bye, don't die.
And with that, she slams the door in my face. What do I do now? I just got kicked out of my own house. I could either hang around here till my mother comes to her senses, or go to my grandmother's and possibly get killed by Slender Man. I'll go to Grandma's.
I skip through the woods with a basket swinging in hand, and I've only heard a few screams and distant static noise, so I'm pretty sure I'm safe. Halfway through my long journey, approximately 5 minutes, I spot a man staring at me. He looks nice. I skip up to him, still swinging the basket in my hand. When I get close to him, the static gets louder, so I hit him in the face with my basket. Will you please stop with that awful static? It's making my ears bleed, which is very uncomfortable.
Pause.
Are you dead? I ask. Finally, I hear a seductive whisper.
No, child.
I realize that he hasn't moved the whole time I've been here. I also realize he has no face. I like your face.
Was that a joke?
I glare at him. This tall man is pretty stupid.
Oh, we're almost done.
I move to the right to walk around him and continue on my journey. Approximately another 5 minutes later, I arrive at my grandmother's house. I try the door, but it is locked. I look into the window to see the tall, skinny, faceless man. Well, looks like I've made my first friend since I was 3. But that's a pretty gory story I'm not gonna get into detail with. Anyway, the window. I smash it with my basket. This basket is coming in handy, I guess. When I climb through the window, I see the tall man sprout more limbs from his back and swallow a wolf and... Oh, that's interesting. I stole that dress from my friend, you know, the one when I was 3. The tall man turns to me. I pummel him black and blue with my basket. Then I swallow him whole. It was so cool. My jaw unhinged like a snake or something. Either that or I broke it. All of a sudden... thank you, my Leslie. Thank you. All of a sudden, the door is kicked in and my mother stands on the threshold with a bloody axe. Where is she? She snarls. I guess we both have animalistic qualities. Grandmother? Yes, boy. I saw her get eaten by a wolf. He practically swallowed her whole. Well, this is ironic. I saw a wolf get eaten by a really slender man, I said, unsure about my mother's mental stability. What happened to him? I pat my oversized stomach. I ate him, duh. Then my mom raises the axe and splits open my stomach, entrails splitting and everything. It's a pretty gruesome sight. Slowly, the slender man rolls onto the floor with a wet splat. Then my mom cuts him open also. Then the wolf. And finally, my half-digested grandmother is exposed. Mother exclaims, and then she drags grandmother's limp body away into the woods. Slowly, the slender man turns his head in my direction. This is so stupid.
Oh, what video game are you? Should we take this quiz? This is a quiz. We're taking this quiz. Now, remember when it was really, really trendy and funny to be random and have nothing in correlation? Yeah, that's what this is. All right. Hi. I hate this. Did you think this was about video games when you clicked it? What? Isn't it? Would it be okay if I affectionately pet your arm or face? I think you lied about the video games. Do you have an earlobe? That is none of your business. How often do you smell people's possessions? All the time. Bruh, did you like this quiz? I think so, dude. I love the sound of children's screams. Your mother's a cat. And like this is all it is. Like, and here's the results. You're an arrogant hair follicle. Your mother's a cat. You were right. You were wrong. And those are the quiz results. So Dr. Reclining of Elena House. Now, you might not know who Elena House is, but apparently she's this woman who is like a multi-talented, like, she's like, number one, she's very rich.
I don't remember all the details. She apparently only poses in photos that are like this, from what I recall. Like, my friend and I were looking at her, and she just like is always reclining on things, and so, and or she's like fighting people in like these weird like budget indie movies or something. I don't know. It's really weird. And so we were like roasting her.
Elena House finally arrived at her living quarters, where she can spend the rest of her night trying to seduce her unpaid servants on tasteless furniture in a blasé fashion. They don't need to be paid when they simply have the honor of being in Elena's presence. Elena warily eyed her unattractive vase, pondering whether or not she should use this special decorative container for added effect. She doesn't like to use the vase more than once a week, for she cannot stand touching something so unattractive. Although for some peculiar reason, her servants are allured to its hideous exterior. Elena decided that, after all, she has just gotten back from a ridiculously long opera performance in Paris, France. She should offer this treat to her servants, for she has not graced them with her presence for more than a day. Elena sauntered to her bedroom, where she would clothe her irresistible body in something appropriate for her deed. She decided on a slinky nightgown. Wearing this, certainly everyone would admire her flawless shoulders, which are her second best feature. There may even be a possibility that someone would notice her smooth tan legs. She smiled at herself, satisfied with where this was going. Soon everyone would be awed by her eclectic talents, being very practiced in her acting, singing, modeling, dancing, piano, and martial arts. Surely she'll be recognized by all the world's population. Word of her online store has begun to spread, and sometimes Elena even sees posters of her seductive reclining on the sides of buildings. She can practically hear her tasteless furniture calling her name. Recline on me, Walnut. I want to be exposed to your vast amounts of seduction. And this she does. Elena effortlessly glides onto her tasteless furniture and awaits for the arrival of anyone and everyone. Soon Elena will have the world under her control. Let's look up Elena House. Like, what is she doing? This is so old. Elena House. Like, I don't know who this is. Like, she's pretty, and she's, like, probably very talented. The Lunch Lady. This is from middle school. This is a story about the lunch lady for our table in middle school. And yes, there are 2 chapters. The first encounter. Ferret sat at her lunch table, yelling a conversation with her friends. She knew this was disruptive, but she didn't care. She was extremely apathetic towards her peers, who could better be referred to as maggots. Ferret opened her big, fat mouth, displaying her razor-sharp ferret teeth in an attempt to assert her dominance over the clique. As she did this, she began to speak.
Did you see those mats they had in PE today? They had compasses on them. What are we, sailors?
Thermal cackled. That's me. I'm Thermal. It could have been mistaken for a choke, but those around her were accustomed to her odd verbal utterances.
I sure did see them. The coaches showed us a horribly uncoordinated video of elderly-esque males and females performing their mating rituals. I think they referred to it as dancing? They were trying to make us perform our mating rituals on compass-adorned mats. How heathenistic,
said Ferret with an open mouth, crinkling up her face like the rodent she was. Ferret did this face more often than necessary. This is true. My friend, who is Ferret in this story, she always crinkled her nose like a ferret. Thermal choked. Or laughed. The conversation shifted as Geggles leaned forward, hunching over the lunch table while staring into Oswin's eyes, murmuring, I'm old Greg. Do you guys remember that? I didn't even watch that, but my friends love it. She did a soft body roll. Do you love me? Together, Geggles and Oswin imitated old Greg in what they could only call an intimate relationship. Seeing this, Billy shook her head and looked away with a solemn expression. You know I hate that, under her breath. Geggles and Oswin synchronized a body roll. Just then, Anne, the lunch lady, walked by with the rolling trash can, commanding the children to throw away their foam trays as she passed them. Jasmine made an unintentional eye contact with the lunch lady. Realizing her mistake, she contemplated how to resolve this bitter tension in the most effective manner. That, she whispered frantically, don't give the lunch lady... This is a true story, guys. This is a true story. That, she whispered frantically, don't give the lunch lady your tray. I sense an evil spirit among us. We shan't supply the demons with their sustenance. Sensing the danger, Ferret put on her evil ferret face and pretended to nibble on her Play-Doh scented muffin as the lunch lady strolled past her with her rolling trash can. Everyone else threw away their tray, including Jasmine, and it was obvious that the lunch lady was slightly annoyed despite her desperate attempt to hide her discontent. Yeah, this is based on a true story. Slight exaggeration. Slight, ever so slight.
The second encounter.
This was no ordinary lunch day. Today was a half day at the Click's school, so they ate in their third period classroom. This just so happened to be Ferret, Osmond, Billy, Panda, and Thermal's Wards Against Satanism class. Thermal amused herself by choking out the words to an anti-mainstream song she had discovered herself on the internet the other evening. Ferret amused herself by putting on her ferret face for a solid 5 minutes. This was a new record, since it was custom for her face to seize after approximately 4 minutes and 37 seconds. Panda and Billy smirked, their expressions unidentifiable as they tossed their empty lunch trays into the trash bins outside their classroom. And, like always, Ferret was the slowest eater. She had consumed half of her time practicing her ferret face. Suddenly, Ferret ripped her ferret gaze. This is so stupid. Suddenly, Ferret ripped her ferret gaze to the doorway. Everyone followed suit, stunned into silence as their eyes met those of the lunch lady. It was as if the lunch lady had targeted the classroom to purposefully take Ferret's tray. As if she didn't have to go to every classroom. Sure enough, she hobbled in their direction, scowling. Trash, she repeatedly mumbled in her raspy voice. But no matter how much the lunch lady requested of her, Ferret continued refusing to throw away her tray, despite everyone else having thrown theirs into the bin already. The lunch lady casually strolled away with a casually placed, casual expression. Are you thermal? I don't know. Because I'm hot? No, in middle school, no. I don't remember. I think it's just because my name started with a T. I'm getting emo vibes from you in school. Yeah. I was emo. I didn't look it. Emo attitude.
The final encounter.
The Click had returned to their regular lunch table, and Osmond had explained the previous day's story to the Click members who had been absent.
Next time the lunch lady tries to take your tray, you should just start eating the tray,
Georgia said to Ferret with an unsettling smile. All of their forms of entertainment, however, ceased when they collectively caught sight of the lunch lady. She began to make her way around the cafeteria, collecting trays. Ferret was, of course, still eating. The lunch lady eventually made her way to the Click table, maintaining an intense level of eye contact with Ferret. Trash, she said in her hoarse voice. This was followed by everyone disposing of their trays, except Ferret.
I'm still eating.
Ferret slithered out, gesturing to her unfinished fruit cup. However, the lunch lady would not tolerate this. She hissed at Ferret and snatched her tray up, and with the blink of an eye, shoving it into the now almost full trash bin and scurrying away. Guys, this is a true story. This is a true story. I'm not kidding. I hated the lunch lady, and the lunch lady was always mean, and she wanted to take our trays so bad. Okay, the response. This is the best part, I think, from what I recall, because this was written like a year later. The response, part 1. There's no part 2. Home. This was the place Ferret was residing, glaring intensely at her brother as he enjoyed his game of Clash of Clans while reclining on his beanbag chair and consuming his Pop-Tart, as if he were a feral beast. Coming across this difficult situation, Ferret could not retain herself any longer.
Maggots, you are searing my vision with your uncultured eating habits?
She screamed into his puny face with little remorse. Her barbaric younger sibling did not pay her any attention. In fact, he did not even seem to have received her message. Aggravated, Ferret stormed into her clustered living space and turned on her extravagantly pathetic television and began to watch her favorite television program on Netflix as she chilled with her parents. In the midst of their agony, uproar directed towards the characters of the show, there was a knock at the door, immediately silencing the entire household, with the exception of Ferret's younger brother, who did not seem to get the memo. He relentlessly continued wailing for unknown causes.
Literally, what the fuck am I reading?
Ferret's mother stood and slowly opened the door, preparing an unsettling expression in order to intimidate the guest at the door. Why, hello there, she started, but was quickly silenced by the crack of a gunshot, and of course, the bullet penetrating her skull. Ferret's mother fell to the floor, limp, and by extraordinary means, the bullet managed to ricochet off the family's cardboard walls and penetrate her father's cranium as well.
Ferret screamed. And there's an image attached.
I'm sorry. So dumb.
Lunch lady cackled in glee as she withdrew a purple lightsaber from within her Superman cape.
Child, will you not give me your empty lunch tray?
She asked, waving the lightsaber carelessly throughout the air.
If you shan't, I shall drag you to my sweet abode of doom.
Ferret fell to the floor, seizing from excitement of this confrontation that she had so long been awaiting. Instead of providing the lunch lady with a verbal answer, she proceeded to pound her temple into the floor's cracked flooring, which was a common form of body language that... She proceeded to pound her temple into the house's cracked flooring, which is a common form of body language that communicated she would not succumb to the threats of the lunch lady.
Is this a true story? No, this is not a true story. I'm sorry, part 2 is not true. The first parts were true. BTS member would have a crush on you. What's mine now? Oh, I remember this. Okay. Let's answer honestly with this one. Okay, let me take the mic away from my face because now that this is a quiz and not a detailed reading. All right. What is your most prominent trait? Stoic. What are you the best at? Visual. How funny are you? 7. What's your style? Sun. Who is your bias? Who's my bias? I would say my bias is V. Oh my god, excuse me. Favorite BTS song? Blood, Sweat, and Tears is like really good. Sorry this is short, but I don't have this kind of long-term commitment to tasks. So last one. Pick a favorite hair color for one of the boys. Why is there like minty mint sugar? Okay, why is mint sugar the one who dies? No, it's red, aka mint sugar. Dark brown. And the answer is, did you really think a BTS member would have a crush on you? None of them speak English but Ratmon, so they wouldn't be able to converse with you, and they would never even have the chance either. They don't even get to know their fans on a personal level. You're just one more person in their huge fan base. You're really just a number on their Twitter followers. Face reality, chica. K-pop stars are a million steps ahead of you. Sorry, buddy. Have a good day, ma'am. Sorry I pranked you. She's back without an outro again. Bye guys.